Welcome back, creeps and creepettes, and all you creeposauruses out there. Come on in. It's the Library of Horror Hotel once again, where it's time for Creepy Cheapies, where today's topic is the rising cost and fluctuating market value of goat's milk in the Himalayas. Or at least it would be, except that while I was in the Himalayas researching the cost of goat milk, it led me to discover a really cool monster. You know, that's right. Now, some monsters have wonderful film careers, lots of classic movies about vampires, and classic movies about mummies and zombies and Frankenstein monsters and aliens and robots and all kinds of cool monsters, ghosts and witches. And one monster that doesn't seem to fare too well in terms of a movie career is that old creep, the Abominable Snowman, technically known as, to his friends, as the Yeti. And I don't know why that is. Why aren't there more good movies, by more I mean any, about the Yeti? They're mostly terrible, and I've seen a few, and they're pretty terrible movies. Maybe this is what the Yetis tell me. And by the way, is more than one Yeti still Yeti? Is the plural of Yeti Yetis or Yeti? I don't know Yeti. Anyway, they tell me that the problem in developing a lucrative film career dates back to the original airing of the famous Rankin Bass Rudolph production, which of course made them look silly with that whole Bumbles bounce thing and all that. They think that's the reason why nobody takes them seriously enough as movie monsters. But meanwhile, while we're waiting for a better film to be made than those of the past, which include Half Human, Snowbeast, The Snow Creature, a lot of not really wonderful. Actually, I would say the best movie I've ever seen about a Yeti is the first one from back, or maybe one of the first ones. I guess not the first one, because I guess The Snow Creature came out first, and it's super awful. But a good one was called The Abominable Snowman of the Himalayas. That was a pretty good movie. It's made by Hammer, I believe, and had good actors in it, namely Peter Cushing and Forrest Tucker, and was a good film. But that's about the only decent one, and you don't get a good look at the monster in that one. But if you want a good look at a Yeti, and you don't have, say, the Don Post mask of the Yeti that came out in the 70s. That was a cool mask. Had this sort of mane, this sort of halo of light brown hair between the white hair and the face. That was cool. And there was a second sculpture that was almost the same, but a little more sophisticated in terms of the sculpture, the second version. And there was a weird one from Be Something Studios, which is now called Zagoni, that was called Abominable Snowman, but it didn't look like an abominable snowman to me. It looked like some weird demonic thing with horns and spikes sticking out. But anyway, today's Yeti, wait till you see this thing. Today's Yeti is this one. And did I mention it's called Yeti? Did I mention that? Did I say it, Yeti? I think I did. Look at this beautiful beast right here. This is a 2023 issue from Ghoulish Productions. How do we know that? Because I just said so. It's by Ghoulish Productions. And they really killed it with this one. Look at the depth and the realism and the really deluxe shaping and molding and sculpting. Look at this design. This is just wonderful, I think. Enchanting to behold such wonderful teeth and such a realistic set of features. And he does have these odd little horns here and there, which kind of makes him a relative of the goats found in the Himalayas. And I don't know if you can see this, but he's kind of a little bit of a purpley color. His highlighting is slightly purplish rather than white as paper, rather than being chalk white. No, I didn't say Snow White. No. I don't know if you can tell that, but he's slightly purpley. But the purpley looks right. It doesn't look silly. It looks chilly, you see. And it really works with the design. And he's got a beautifully sculpted set of teeth and a very realistic tongue. And when you're wearing this, you'd be seeing out of these little slits that are above the eyes, and I did not do anything to the eyes or the teeth or any of the detailing on this one. It looked this cool right out of the package from the creeps at Ghoulish Productions. It looks this great. Look at this thing. This is awesome. Now, as far as his hair, a couple of people have asked me if Laura has re-haired one of these, and she hasn't. We thought about that too, but we kind of felt like, both of us, we kind of felt like this hair works. I don't usually like this kind of plastic hair that everybody uses, but sometimes they use it on inappropriate characters and it looks really phony. But on this particular monster, just the way it falls, the way it drapes, the way it hangs, I think it works just fine. Can we do the puppet thing with him? Yeah, we kind of can. Not great, but it kind of works. Now in the back, he has fur, which is acrylic. You can see this like acrylic net-backed sheet fur in the back and on the neck to hang down to make it easy to costume. The fur hangs down in the front. See how that goes? And then, obviously, all you can really wear with this mask is a white, or better still, pale gray fur bodysuit. That's really all you can wear with this guy and look right, because you never see a Yeti in, for example, a bikini at the beach. You never see a Yeti who goes for like business casual. No, you don't see that. But gonna have to come up with a pale gray, or maybe you can find a white fur suit online and maybe add a little pale gray coloration to it yourself and make something wonderful enough to be worn. And you would want the fur to look kind of like the fur they used underneath the weird patches of long, plasticky, drapey hair, which I like on this mask. Isn't this a cool guy? Goodness gracious me. Probably the best Yeti mask out there, and there have been a bunch of them over the years, and I'm a big fan of the early Don Post Yeti masks, but this one from Ghoulish from 2023 might be the king of all Yeti masks. Might be the best one that I've seen. He certainly thinks he is. He's got these great spooky cold eyes from being up in the mountains, in the cold, out in the snow. See, it's very cold out there, but he likes it that way. He doesn't mind, because in a place like this, he's uncomfortably warm. He kind of prefers the cold. And the other nice thing is he looks like a relative of Fluffy from Creepshow, so you could have him pop out of a crate at people at the haunted house, but they're probably more accurate Fluffy-looking masks for that purpose. But the Yeti definitely needs to be in the mask collection. I think these sell for anywhere from around 80 bucks is the, I think the ideal price, the intended price, the expected price is around 80, but I've seen them cheaper. I've seen them as low as $50, which is a steal if you can find one for that price, because he's such a nice mask and it displays really well, and you can put it on something kind of high. You need kind of a high shelf to display him. Otherwise, you have his beard hair hanging out there, and that doesn't look as nice. So there he is, the amazing Yeti from Ghoulish Productions from 2023. Oh my goodness. Yeah, what a cool monster that is. So while you're out hunting Yeti or Yetis, I'm gonna go have some nice spaghetti and meatballs.